What's going on, everybody? In this video, I will be going over audiences inside of Facebook. So I want to show you guys kind of what you guys can do with audiences. So if we go inside of all tools, we're in our business manager section. We're going to go all the way up here into audiences up here. Now below we did go over, I do go over audience insights and how you can build out audiences in there. This is basically your library for your audiences inside of here. So I'm going to actually go into one of my ad accounts real quick and show you guys what some audiences look like built out. So right here, we have some audiences that are built out for videos and you know, all sorts of stuff. Lookalike audiences, custom audiences, engagement audiences. There's a lot of different audiences in here. So I want to go over the different types of audiences that there is. You can make a custom audience or a lookalike audience. So if we're going to go into a custom audience, for example, we'll pull up, and it pulls up this little menu section right here. Now, custom file, if you actually have a file like a email list, maybe you have an audience that's built up from another Facebook ad account or anything like that, you can upload it into here. This is having a customer file. Website traffic is the main one that a lot of you guys will be using. When you're building out audiences from your actual website or sales funnel, you're going to build them out through here using the Facebook Pixel. App activity is who has launched your app, who has downloaded your app, done certain things dealing with your app. So if you have an app that you're doing, this is building audiences surrounded around app activity. Offline activity, again, this is through people who has maybe called a number, visited your actual business, storefront location. Maybe they've gone through other offline advertisement channels. This is where you would go in with building an audience. Engagement is pretty cool. If you go inside of engagement, you can actually build audiences off of videos. So the people who have engaged with videos on Facebook or Instagram actually build out engagement or audiences and engagement audiences through lead forms. So if you use a lead form on Facebook, with Facebook advertising, then you can build out audiences around that lead form. So it's pretty cool. So say you're going to, build out a lead form for a chiropractor, and you get 100 lead form applications in, and it shows that you have 100. You build a lookalike audience off that. Typically, what that's going to do is continuing to find people and more fine in your audience, if I should say. Really be able to get more specific and be able for you to get a cheaper lead, which I'm sure you agree is always better than paying more money for leads. So, that's just a quick example. You can do, if you've ever created a canvas or collection ad on Facebook, you can build audiences off those. Now this is pretty cool. Your Instagram and Facebook page, you can build audiences off those. So for example, I can build an audience off people who engaged with my Instagram, within 365 days. So a whole year, maybe even 30 days. I could even do one off of people that are on my Facebook page. So when you start to get a pretty big following, you can build them out real specific, to all the way to 14 days and 10 days. Now the even cooler part about this, guys, is you can build out audiences, a lookalike audience, which is basically Facebook. You telling Facebook, picture it as this: you've got 100 people that have bought a product from you. Say you're selling shampoo. They bought a thing of shampoo from you, sold 100 of them, 100 different customers. Now, picture as if Facebook can find customers just like those 100 and be able to kind of really, really get more specific and find, a lookalike audience around 2 million people that would be just like those people, those 100 that bought that shampoo from you. So it gets very important when it comes to building out audiences for almost every objective that you can imagine, because then you can build out lookalike audiences, and audiences and lookalike audiences, which is really, really important when it comes to scaling out advertisement campaigns for yourself and as well as for clients. So the last one, if you are big into events and setting events on Facebook, you can make lookalike audiences off that. So if you have clients that are big into Facebook events, and posting events for local events and in-person events, then you can make audiences around that. So real quick, guys, just to kind of dive in, for example, let's build out. There's another, like I said, another type of audience, real quick, a lookalike audience. So lookalike audience I can build off of creating a custom audience with a lifetime value. So this is pretty cool when you build out campaigns and ads that you have clients that are actually buying from you. You have client lists. You can build from lookalike audiences off lifetime valued customers, which is pretty awesome. But we're gonna let's go over. I've got a page, I love kittens. So I want to build a lookalike audience off that page. So people who, audiences of people who interact with that, let's say 1%, I can go all the way up to 10% if I really, really wanted to. I'm just going to stick to about 1%. Cool thing is, though, I can do a couple real quick if I really, really wanted to. So a couple different audiences. I'm going to stick with the United States. I don't really want to go anywhere else, and I want to create this audience. Boom. Create an audience. Super, super simple. Now, if you have Facebook pages, now let's create a couple different other audiences, another lookalike audience. So say I've built out an audience for video views, or let's do this real quick. So let's go under creating a custom audience. Engagement. Let's say people that have engaged with a certain video. I want people that have viewed 50% of this video. So I'm going to choose a video. Let's go into my actual page. Boom. So that's weird. We can do that if we really wanted to. Let's create that. Show some source. It's going to show the sources to different pages. Let's create. And we can create that. Actually, I want to do one that is 10 seconds. We're going to choose a video. Let's do this one. Boom. So I got 50,000 video views at 10% of the video, which is pretty sweet. Let's go with the last 365 days. I'm going to do with 180 days. Boom. Let's say lifestyle video, 10-second video views, 180 days. So you'll notice throughout this whole thing, I can even add a super good description if I wanted. That's my audience name. I don't really need to if I wanted. But you will see that I will always get super descriptive with all my audiences, and exactly wanting to know, exactly being able to organize these and know exactly what it is that they are. So again, that's one real quick way that I can build out an audience through people that have gauged through a video of 10 seconds. So super important that you build out these even in the beginning of you running ads to videos, because it's super important that you have these things out, because as soon as you build up audiences and traffic to it, then you can build out lookalike audiences, and then your cost per click and your cost per CPM and your initially your cost per purchase at the end of the day goes way, way down, and you can scale a lot faster. So it's really important that you build audiences. So for example, say I wanted to do a website traffic. Well, what I need to do is make sure that I get an actual domain, or a web address. So I'm going to do millennialdigitalmarketing.com. Boom, this is the sales funnel that I use, or one of the sales funnels I use. Boom, I'm going to copy that web address. I'm going to go back into audience. I want to build out people who visited a specific page. Now I can do visitors by a time spent, build out audiences from complete registrations, from leads, people who've done page views, so just hit the page and left. I like to trust myself, so I go through people who visited a specific page. Again, we can pick the certain type of day that we want. Say we want to do the URL that contains. Doesn't contain is going to exclude, basically, but we're going to do contains. We're going to hit that URL. That's the one that I just copied over here. So I got it right here. I can, if it goes into retargeting, and I have a whole section below that goes into retargeting and building out retargeting audiences, and so on and so forth. So when it comes to building out a normal audience like that, boom, I can hit that, and I can hit, hit MDM Academy registration. Whoops. Registration page. I can't spell today. Registration page mini webinar. And then boom, I can just hit create, and then that's going to create a audience again for that. So real quick, I'm going to go back into again. So say I have saved some audiences from actual, different types of saved audience. I can create an audience off of here, right here, by actually just, going in depth. So right now it's going to tell me my reach. This is actually like what it looks like inside when you're placing an ad for ad sets. So this is basically going to show you that I can name this audience. I can create a custom audience, take from a custom audience that I've made, a lookalike, or a custom audience that I have built. I've got all my audiences right here. But if you're actually going to build out an audience, then, I can build one out real quick. So, for example, I can, say I want to, I have maybe, all right, so I'm going to do one for a local chiropractor. Say I have a local chiropractor as a client, and I'm trying to run an ad for them. I don't want to just target the United States. I want to target my actual area. So, for example, I'm just going to do Midlothian. I live around the Midlothian area in Richmond, Virginia. It's 25 miles. Boom. So that goes, pretty far around this area. And it shows right now I've got a potential reach of 7,600, or 760,000, excuse me, which is pretty good. This is age between this area. So I've got a local chiropractor. So that's a good audience. Let's go down to here. Maybe, I just want people that speak English. Possibly don't want people that are 18. They might not be doing it. So let's shoot it up to probably, it depends on your chiropractor. This is a question that I would ask. But let's just say for this sake, 24 to 65. And they also like, or they've got back pain. So back pain relief. Boom. So this is a audience that's actually going to be taken off, as you see. So it will tell you some alternatives to use. Now, reasons being is I don't know why they want to take that off, but they're taking that one off. So some of, Facebook's always going through changes, so that's prime example. But let's not run that. I want to change something else. So let's actually run people that like chiropractors. Fewer than 1,000. Okay, too small. So how about I just, let's see what that is, 630,000. Let's, people that are sports, say they're running a sports special. Boom, people that like sports, 440,000. I'm going to even narrow this down a little bit more. Possibly that play basketball. Basketball, boom. So here we've got an audience that we could put in front of, you know, say that like they're running specials for basketball players, local basketball players, of getting a free alignment. I mean, when I normally run ads for local clients, excuse me, I don't know why I'm all the way over here, but I really just kind of keep it broad. Reason being is because I want to, you know, be able to kind of tweak it down so I can scale it up, I like to say. But after I'm done with this whole audience, I can name it, you know, mid-low, Cairo, audience, 25 miles. Let's do 24 to what was it, 65 plus, and likes basketball and sports. Boom. But we can take the like away. That's weird. 65 plus, and then boom, just like that. And then we just hit create audience, just like that. So boom, that's going to create an audience for me right there. It's ready to go. You know, so it's pretty cool that I can build all these audiences. It'll tell me, you know, I can share audiences if I really want. So say I wanted to give, you know, give somebody this audience. I can actually go into clicking, boom, hold on, go into clicking this check, hit action. I can delete it if I really wanted to. But I can share this audience if I really wanted to. Oh, I can't, shit, nope, can't do it, never mind, can't do saved audiences. So I have a custom one. Let's do custom audience right here. I think I can share this one. Yep. So I can share this if I really wanted to with another ad account ID anywhere. It doesn't have to be in my business manager. So you can share IDs if you wanted to, and I can, you know, have IDs shared with me. So this is kind of going through with getting Facebook ad audiences built out, the power with building out audiences. And, you know, like I said, there's so many different ways that you can build out audiences. I always update it, you know, build out new engagement audiences. And you want to stay on top of building out audiences for yourself and for your clients, because it's going to be super beneficial when it comes to showing in the results. So that was kind of an overcap of audiences inside of Facebook. And now below there is going to be an audience insights video, and that's going to be showing you how you can create audiences and save audiences using the powerful tool of audience insights.